Get started with the award ceremony portion. Thank you all for joining us this evening. We are so thrilled that after 2 years of doing this virtually, we're finally back in person. And in fact, we have the best of both worlds. Welcome to those of you who are joining us online by Zoom as well. I'm Melissa Barnett. I'm the director of the Frances McClelland Institute for Children, Youth, and Families, or FMI, as we call ourselves. Can you all hear me okay in the background? In the back, right here? Okay, thanks. Before we move forward with today's program, I do want to acknowledge where we are by sharing the official land acknowledgement of the University of Arizona that was developed in partnership with tribal representatives. We respectfully acknowledge the University of Arizona is on the land and territories of Indigenous peoples. Today, Arizona is home to 22 federally recognized tribes, with Tucson being home to the O'odham and the Yaqui peoples. Committed to diversity and inclusion, the university strives to build sustainable relationships with sovereign Native nations and Indigenous communities through education offerings, partnerships, and community service. And it seems like that's a particularly fitting way to center today's ceremony, to remind us that most of us are guests here and that we all have truly very deep commitments and obligations to serving the community. At the Frances McClelland Institute, we work collaboratively to build strong communities that promote family resilience so that children, youth, and families from marginalized backgrounds have the opportunity to thrive. We do this by supporting innovative, impactful research, partnering with community organizations, sharing timely research with community members and practitioners, and educating the next generation of engaged scholars and community leaders. Everything we do all year, but especially today, is to honor the legacy of Frances McClelland. Frances was a tireless and generous advocate for children, youth, families, women, and individuals with disability, especially those who are experiencing injustice and discrimination. She believed strongly in the need for us as society to create opportunities so that everyone could reach their full potential. Today, we're honoring individuals and an organization who share this vision, and through their work are having a positive impact on communities in Southern Arizona. This year, for the third time, we're also honoring the legacy of another community visionary and leader, the late Richard Elías, whose positive impact is lasting for generations in our community. Before we get started with today's award presentations, I do want to acknowledge some past award winners who have joined us today, who in the past we could only acknowledge virtually. So you'll meet a couple of them as they come up to present awards, but if there's anyone in the audience here who is a past Vision Award winner, you could just wave, put you on the spotlight, and can give you, you're all very modest. So thank you for joining us. And I know we have some joining us on Zoom as well, so thank you. As you'll soon learn, this year's awardees have made significant contributions to critical issues in our community. We hope that by the end of this event, you feel inspired and ready to join our awardees, the Frances McClelland Institute, and our partners to build better, more just communities where children and families have opportunities to thrive. We'll begin by presenting the Frances McClelland Vision Award. But first, I want to share a little bit more about Frances. Frances Helen McClelland was born in Tucson in 1923 to Irish immigrant parents. Although she contracted polio at a young age and spent much of her life in a wheelchair, she did not let that hold her back. She graduated from the University of Arizona with a degree in accounting, in 1944, which was a rare accomplishment for women at that time. She went on to become the corporate treasurer for her family's business, Shamrock Dairy. She sat tall in her wheelchair in boardrooms full of men. She was extremely generous with her time, money, wisdom, and spirit. For example, she was president of the YWCA, and she was on so many boards that I would take the rest of the evening if I listed all of them. This is a couple of examples. She served on the University of Arizona Foundation and the Tucson Library Boards. Before Frances died, she set up the Emerald Foundation, which has given away $19 million to organizations across the state of Arizona, including our own institute. As her close friend and FMI Advisory Council member Pril Kuhn recounts, Frances had a sense of adventure. She loved art and she loved music. She liked being in the moment with people. And we're confident she would love to have been in the moment right here with all of you. She was a committed advocate for providing opportunities for those who were marginalized, including women, children, immigrant families, and individuals with disabilities. Her legacy as a community leader lives on and on. Here to present this year's Frances McClelland Vision Award, we're so honored, is actually the 2021 recipient of the award, Linda Leatherman.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm very honored to be here. Everyone who has worked with or is working with Leanne Hernandez. Leanne, would you please stand? Yay! Her friends and family know how deserving she is of this award. It is fitting that Leanne, through her leadership with the YWCA, the building that Frances McClelland built, is immediately carrying forward the hopes and legacy of Frances McClelland, a great woman who contributed so much to the Pima Tucson community and to the University of Arizona. Leanne exemplifies Frances McClelland's passion for working with diverse partners to create opportunities for marginalized individuals to realize their potential. Leanne Hernandez has made a positive impact throughout Pima County, especially in the lives of marginalized women and girls, showing through Leanne's impressive list of achievements are her passion for the community and coalition building, and her commitment to social justice and inclusion. She's a self-described convener who demonstrates humble and collaborative leadership. A member of the Tucson nonprofit arts community for many years, she has served numerous organizations in various capacities. She is currently the director of the YWCA's Women's Wellness, Empowerment and Leadership Center, along with co-chairing the Bond Oversight Commission. She was the founder of the Gallery Raíces Taylor, and past contributions include serving as a commissioner with the Pima Tucson Women's Commission and as City of Gastronomy Culture Kitchen Coordinator, and a great teacher of that. For Tucson Meet Yourself, we are honored to recognize Leanne Hernandez today. Come forward and get this wonderful award so you can take it on your grand tour.
Just say something real quick. Hi, everybody. Thank you for dealing with this heat today. It's 91 degrees, of course. It was nice this weekend, but here we are. Well, thank you all for being here tonight. I just have a few things I wanted to share. So it's such an honor to be recognized and nominated by my dear friend, Linda Leatherman. Thank you so much. To be recognized as part of a circle that she's been inducted into is such a huge honor for me. I'm reminded today that the work and lessons of our community members is that which gives us all the strength and fortitude to move forward in confidence and gives us a trajectory towards justice. Thank you to the committee members who saw the sums of my actions and those of my organization that I'm so privileged to work for. Again, my name is Leanne Hernandez. I'm the daughter of Erlinda, who's the daughter of Elías, the daughter of Micaela, and the daughter of Urbana. I come here before you as a product of a long line of hardworking and wonderfully strong people. And I can only say that now it's an honor to say thank you to my family for being here. To my dear love, Peter, thank you for supporting my passions and listening to all my thoughts. Thank you to my Force of Nature family, Rose, Steve, Pat, Tania. To my sisters from another mister, Miss Ceci and Georgia, and to all of my dear friends and colleagues for being here today. Thank you so much for sharing this honor. And I'm so happy to share this day with my fellow awardees. I'm honored and humbled to receive this award on the grounds of my alma mater and in my beloved adopted city of Tucson, Arizona. And here with the family of birth and choosing, I feel doubly blessed and privileged to see the work that I have done thus far and all that is left to do before us all collectively. We have a big job to do, y'all, to leave this place a little bit better than we found it. I recall a very important idea that Kimberly Bowie once shared with our leadership conference. It's just the idea that to whom much is given, much is required. And I think that this community has furnished me with so many things, so many gifts, and so many friends. And I'm just so glad to share this day with you all. Thank you so much.
FMI is privileged to celebrate Richard Elías's lasting gifts to our community by awarding the Richard Elías Legacy Award. Richard was a longtime community advocate and leader who served on the Pima County Board of Supervisors and the FMI Advisory Council. Here to present this year's award is State Representative and FMI Advisory Council member, Representative Andres Cano. Earlier in his career, Representative Cano served as the senior aide to Supervisor Elías. In fact, he was the youngest policy advisor in the county's history in 2012, overseeing constituent outreach and neighborhood relations. A first-generation college graduate, Representative Cano is at the forefront of critical issues in our state by sitting on the House Committee on Ways and Means and serving as the ranking Democrat on the House Committee on Natural Resources, Energy, and Water. In his non-legislative role, Andres is the director of the LGBTQ+ Alliance Fund with the Community Foundation for Southern Arizona. We're so pleased to have him here.
Good evening and hello to all of you. Welcome and thank you so much, Melissa, for that very kind introduction. I want to first thank you so much for preserving the legacy of Supervisor Elías, who meant so much to so many of us, but especially to the center. He enjoyed getting to work with warriors like Josefina Ahumada, like all of you, right? If I start naming each one of you individually, I'm going to get in trouble. Richard taught us about love. He taught us about compassion, and more importantly, of learning from our ancestors. And when I look at people like Leanne and Daniel, who gives me so much hope and inspiration, I am also honored to be able to have the opportunity to recognize another person, another leader, which is why I'm here in front of you all today. Supervisor Elías loved conversations in his office with Maria Vianney Valdez Cardenas, and she demonstrates so many of the qualities that Supervisor Elías embodied. She knows that great dedication to the Southern Arizona community that we call our own is important and critical work, and she's worked tirelessly to promote equity and opportunity for all of us. She's the founder and the executive director of the United Hearts of Arizona, and also known as Corazones Unidos de Arizona, which supports elementary school students here in Tucson. Her accomplishments include working on the executive board of LULAC as the state treasurer, serving as the City of Tucson Ward 5 appointee for Pima County's Tucson Women's Commission, and opening her own business, which assists families with legal documents. Maria Vianney Valdez Cardenas has been a pivotal part in the success stories of so many families, and I hope you'll join me in honoring and presenting the Richard Elías Legacy Award to this incredible person, Maria Vianney Valdez Cardenas. Congratulations, Maria.
Break it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Andres, for being here, for taking the time to be here and recognize me and be here with all of us. Thank you, Melissa. I was amazed when I saw my name, to be honest with you. I have working extremely hard to make a difference in this community, especially in the little kids. Why? Because to me, the investment is in our future, and they are the future of this country and all this universe. Supervisor Elías keep telling me all the time, every time he sees me, he tells me, just keep going. You're gonna see haters, you're gonna see people criticizing you, you're gonna see people saying, why is she doing that? And why is she doing too much? And say, just keep going. You have a vision. And if you wanna make a difference and impact in this community, just keep going. And that's what I've been doing. Keep going. In 2016, I lost my father, my niece, and my husband in a period of 7 months. When that happened, I said, what do I do? I stay in my house crying, praying every day, going to the cemetery, or I turn it around and keep moving forward, making a difference, focusing on helping myself, but others. And the most important thing, helping my kids. It's for my kids. I love them. I have 3 kids. They're already grown ups, and I love because they're always supporting me. And they might think I'm crazy, but they know my craziness is. I just want to say thank you to Julian, Vianney, and Vanessa. They're everything for me. In January of 2021, I lost my beautiful mother due to COVID. And again, it was another challenging for me, challenge time. But again, next day on January 5th, I lost my mother. On January 16th, we were delivering tennies and jackets to the kids in the city of South Tucson. So that's what it keeps us going. It is tiring. Yes, it is, because I have my own business. I have my own things to do. And the passion that I share with other board members to, make a difference in the community, it's about making a difference. And it's so great for me when I go to Walmart or Target and somebody, is holding my skirt, and I turn around and they're like, do you remember me? Look, I'm wearing my tennis shoe that you gave me 2 years ago. Or my sibling, my brother, or my sister is wearing 3 years ago. Why don't it's probably not, because kids change a lot when they start growing up. But that was the difference to me. That it makes my day. I go home and I'm like, oh, I know at least for one person that still remembers me, and they can still, make sure that, they have the tools, which is the purpose of this program that we do every holidays, every year, is for the kids to go to school prepared with their shoes, with their jackets. So we know the schools rely a lot on attendance, and we need to make sure those kids, they go prepared to learn and have fun in school, not worry about if my tennis shoes, they have a hole, or I don't have the appropriate jacket to go to school. So, and that's what we do. So I just want to say thank you to everyone that has supporting us for all these 9 years. And there's still a lot for Corazones Unidos. We're doing this year 200 students. And most of our students are in the city of South Tucson, in the south of the city of Tucson. And, people from Yuma and people from Douglas, they already contact me and say, when are you going to come over here? So it's about making an impact. Giving is one of the most precious gifts that we can have as a human being. So thank you so much for this. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you, Mr. Richard Elías, for always being there for your community and always making a difference. Thank you so much.
very inspirational and touching. And each year that we've been giving this award in Richard Elias's honor, I have a greater appreciation for the kind of impact he made for our community as a whole, but also every single individual he seemed to interact with walked away with a sort of a kernel of knowledge and strength from him. And so again, his legacy continues and really lives on. Next, we are privileged to recognize an inspirational youth leader in our community. The Youth Vision Award is given to an individual who is working towards improving the well-being of children, youth, families, and community. This young leader shares Frances's passion, dedication, and vision. This youth leader, and I am sure you will agree with me when you hear more about the winner, truly inspires hope for Arizona's future. Here to present this year's award is Dr. Russ Toomey, FMI faculty and distinguished outreach professor, but most relevant to today, the nominator of this year's winner, Daniel Trujillo.
Melissa. Daniel Trujillo is right here, is one of the strongest, most vocal advocates for the rights and safety and well-being of marginalized populations, especially transgender youth. At age 15, at the very, very young age of 15, Daniel was engaged in several local and national efforts, including work with the Southern Arizona Gender Alliance, engagement in them youth choir, a gender cool champion, and work with the Human Rights Campaign. Through his efforts, he has elevated the voices and experiences of transgender youth. He has courageously shared his stories with the Arizona State Legislature. I've been in that room with Daniel. It is not something for the faint of heart to do. He has shared his story with US Congress people, with White House officials, several podcasts, and on many news stories in efforts to block the passage of anti-trans gender youth legislation. He's an exceptional leader among other trans youth and is willing to share his story in order to change the hearts and minds of our government leaders, school administrators, and families with trans and non-binary children. Daniel's willingness to be authentic and to fight for progressive change is an incredible gift to our community. He's making the world a better place for trans people to exist, one speech, video, or story at a time. I'm truly honored to present the 2022 Frances McClelland Youth Vision Award to Daniel Trujillo.
Can I put that on there? I don't trust myself fully. Okay. As you know, my name is Daniel Trujillo. I'm 15 years old, and I use he, him pronouns. I'm extremely honored to receive I'm going to totally butcher this name, the Frances McClelland Youth Vision Award this evening. When I first heard I would be receiving this award, I was just so excited, but not just because I was going to be receiving the award, but that I was just nominated at the very least. That was just so amazing. It was so amazing, and especially after these past few years of all these really hateful attacks from our legislator on trans youth, or legislature that are directed towards trans youth. And it's just play the guitar, hang out with my friends on the weekends, you know, all that stuff, all the things that other kids do. And I would give anything that to just not have to worry about the stuff that me and my family have to worry about. Because honestly, we shouldn't be worrying about like whether I'm gonna have access to my own medical care, or if I really feel like joining a sports team, if that's like really if I'm even able to do that. And so, you know, oh, it's a fly. But, you know, as a citizen of this country, I would just hope that our rights just aren't getting taken away. And so like, no, it's not cool. But, you know, this January is starting the next season, or next, like a whole new wave of anti-trans legislation. And I really urge you all to do your part in protecting trans youth like me, and like protecting families of trans youth across Arizona and the whole country. And, you know, just yeah, you know. I want to thank, oh my God, I skipped a part of my speech. I wanted to thank Russ for nominating me, because, you know, we've known each other, I've known you for a really long time. And so thank you so much. It's really amazing. Thank you. That's all.
Hope for the future, right? So starting in 2019, we began recognizing local nonprofit organizations that are serving the community by offering supports to promote resilience among our most vulnerable and marginalized populations. Here to present this year's award is Amanda Rutherford, who is the Director of Community Outreach for last year's Spirit Organizational Award winner, Step Up to Justice. Thank you so much, Melissa, and thank you for all of you. It's such an honor to be here in person with these incredible awardees. You know, I'm really honored to present this year's 2022 Organizational Spirit Award. And founded in 1986, Youth on Their Own is a long-standing nonprofit organization that exemplifies the commitment of Frances McClelland to promoting resilience. Youth on Their Own's mission is to support high school graduation and the continued success of youth experiencing homelessness in Pima County. Having served tens of thousands of youth experiencing, having served tens of thousands of local housing insecure youth over the years, Youth on Their Own has been highly successful, touting an 84% graduation rate for Youth on Their Own enrolled youth. That's incredible. Woo! To achieve their mission, Youth on Their Own strive to eliminate barriers to education and empower Southern Arizona's housing insecure youth through efforts to provide financial assistance, basic human needs, guidance, and more. Their work has provided many individuals the opportunity to feel empowered and to pursue self-sufficiency. I'm incredibly honored to present the 2022 Frances McClelland Spirit Organizational Award to Youth on Their Own.
Hi, Melissa, and everyone. We had no idea we were up for this award, and we are just so amazed and honored to be here. I'm lucky enough in my job to be able to speak to some of the folks who started Youth on Their Own, including our founder, Ann Young. She's quite old now, but she's still around, and she talks a lot about what things were like, 36 years ago when things were just getting started, and YODO was this tiny little grassroots organization that nobody ever heard of. And at the time, her goal was to be in 10 different schools in Tucson and maybe have 10 students in each school. And it's just so crazy to think that now we're serving about 1,500 youth a year at almost every middle and high school in Pima County, so that's about 100 schools, and just the amount of growth that's happened in those years. And truly, it wouldn't be possible without the so many folks that are here in Tucson that are part of the YODO family and support the organization, but also the youth that we serve. There's nothing more inspiring than going somewhere and having your Yodo shirt on and then finding out that the person who's serving your dinner or who's behind the window at the bank or who is designing the new building that you'll be moving into soon was once a Yodo student and has since graduated and gone on to do many amazing things. At our table, we were just speaking about one student that both my colleague Danielle and I know, but also one of our board members knows, that so many other people know because he used to come and speak like this to groups of folks. And it's amazing to see how those kids are growing and changing and becoming part of our community and making this world a better place little by little. So on behalf of everyone at our organization, our staff, our board, our volunteers, and most importantly, all the youth that we serve, thank you so much for this incredible honor. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Congratulations to all of our winners, and thank you to all of our winners for letting us honor you, for letting us share your amazing accomplishments, and for coming here and bringing your family and your friends and letting us be a part of that. Thank you to the rest of you for joining us. We do need to thank our generous sponsors, some of whom have joined us today. Special thanks to our top sponsors, Albertson Safeway Foundation, Arizona Complete Health, Community Food Bank of Southern Arizona, Jewish Family and Children's Services, Jim and Vicki Click and Family, PNC Bank, and Vantage West Credit Union. Thank you to our other name sponsors, Child and Family Resources, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Pima Federal Credit Union, and Social Venture Partnerships, Tucson. We owe a big thank you to everyone who made this event possible, including the FMI Advisory Council, especially those who served on our award selection committees. You can imagine they had a very difficult job. So special thanks to Josefina Ahumada, Melissa Delgado, Amy Graves, Bonnie Bazada, Ana Lucera, and Eric Schindler. This event would not have been possible without the above and beyond contributions of Alvin Nguyen, who is our part-time FMI program coordinator, although you would not have known that in the past few weeks. Thank you also to Sakua Wong and Estefania Villasenor, our wonderful Norton School support staff. And thank you to our undergrad volunteers this evening. Finally, here comes the pitch. We welcome any donations you can make to help us continue and expand our work. We are very close to our goal of raising $10,000 today. With you, and we thank you to our generous sponsors and to some of you who have already donated. But with the help of the rest of you, we can reach this goal. These funds will support this event, and they will also help us share more research by producing timely research briefs in English and Spanish, by conducting community conversations, which are true dialogues between researchers and community members, by funding innovative student research and community-based learning experience, and truly helping us build collaborative two-way community university partnerships. We've made it convenient for you. If you are able to help tonight, you'll see that on the table tents as well as on your programs, there are QR codes that you can scan that will take you directly to our donation page. So we thank you for that consideration. More broadly, though, we hope you partner with us in our mission to build stronger communities to support family resilience so that children, youth, and families from marginalized backgrounds have the opportunity to thrive. I hope to see you at future events. And if you aren't already, please join our listserv. Please come to other events. Please follow us on social media. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And we are welcome to come take pictures here, as I think that we have just enough light. So we do have our photographer here, or you can come take your own pictures. And there's still food, so please